those girls. Some of them men think they freak this like we do, but no, they don't. Make your check come at the neck. Disrespect us, no.
Well, the verdict is out. Girls run the world, but you already knew that. The time check, it is some 13 minutes past the hour of 7. You're live here on Keeping It Real on 3FM and 92.7. A whole hour dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the absolute truth. Let's kick things off right about now. Let me introduce some lovely ladies and gentlemen in the studio. It's our resident troublemakers. Let me hear you say, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, guys, the energy is not giving. What is going on? If you are ready for keeping it real, let me hear you say, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's the energy we're looking for on Keeping It Real. How we doing? AJ Sapon is in the house. Wagwan sis, how we feeling? Cheer up, cheer up, cheer up, cheer up, cheer up, cheer up.
I'm so beat. It's not even
Who
funny.
is beating you? Life is beating you.
Life is beating me.
Charlie, woto. I couldn't wait to be an adult. I was like, oh my God. When I was a kid, I was like,
when I grew up.
For some reason, I had 24 in my mind. I was like, when I'm 24, I'm going to have a car and a boyfriend and my own job. And tell me what to do. Somebody tell me what to do.
I want to be a baby girl.
I want to be guided. Tell me what to do. What to eat. I had enough. Oh, Charlie, adulting, no, it's not easy.
On Sunday, I woke up and I was hungry.
Oh,
So I
Charlie.
left FMH Action. Someone promised to give me watch it or to go with me and
sure
buy
they
watch
did.
it. Oh, wow.
Yeah, go on.
So I was like, so we had planned that we're going to buy watch it after I get off air. And then she was out having a good time and she forgot all about me. So I went home. And I woke up extremely hungry because I hadn't eaten most of Saturday. And then all I wanted was a meal. But then I live alone. So the only one to get a meal was me. So I stayed in bed.
Sorry. Nanya Kofi is in the house, aka Mr. Mood Seasons. It's our favorite troublemaker.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Really?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're all my favorite troublemakers, but you are our favorite male troublemaker. What is adulting saying today? How's your day been?
Listen, my day has been. Wait, what time is it?
The day's over.
My day has been shit. As in capital T.
Oh, what's going on? The adulting is also handing you some lefts and rights.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Let me have some better luck with Edith, Miss. I don't even want to look into. I mean, Miss Judy, what's up? Good evening. What's going on? Are you also feeling the brunt of adulting?
I don't know. I was okay till someone just pissed me off some few minutes ago. So
okay, so you're trying
I think
to
we're
settle
all
it.
being beaten by life today.
Okay, it's allowed. It's allowed.
Yeah.
It's what adulting is all about. But somebody who has a nagging dilemma, no pun intended, is an anonymous fella whose dilemma I'm going to be reading out. It's very, very short, but I think it's a layered conversation, and it's one that, gentlemen, if you are listening and you are close to your radio set, listen up even more attentively. So, our worried gentleman wants to know, should he be worried if his nagging wife suddenly goes silent on him? He says, my dear wife, nowadays she's dear. When she was nagging, you didn't get to the root cause. Let me not go too far. My dear wife used to nag too much. She used to worry and complain about everything I do. Says I'm cheating, chasing other women. You get my drift. The truth is, anything she nags to me about, and she feels every time she nags to me or about me, and she feels I did something, it's usually mostly always true that I am doing it, but I pretend that I know nothing about it. So all the accusations, there could be some basis to it. He's not letting all of the cats out of the bag, but at least we have a picture that some of it is true. So she was nagging for good reason. My problem now is she has stopped nagging. She has stopped worrying about me. When I go out, she doesn't blow up my phone like she used to. She used to nag. And now it's almost radio silence. Is there anything to worry about? Because current I don't care life is kind of uncomfortable. Dumb.
She has moved on.
He says straight up, should I be worried?
Yes.
He should be?
Extremely. Extremely
extremely
Worried and
worried.
relieved at the same time.
Oh
my God.
Relieved how?
That's what you
Well,
want.
clearly, no, relieved in the sense that clearly someone else is getting a nagging.
Oh.
Right? So
That's an angle.
you're looking at the angle of, well, someone might be getting a piece of her. But you know what? He also gets the nagging part, and I have to now weigh my options. Am I okay with that?
No, but actually,
If the nagging was that bad.
I mean, that angle that Nanya introduces is very interesting.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
layered. We'll push it to the side a little bit so we can start from the top. So
Hey,
we know that
so you can start from the angle that counts.
Nanya, I see where you're coming
Why
from.
do you even invite me to this show?
It's because you're very handsome. So let's start from the beginning, right? So this is a wife that has been nagging and she's had some suspicions because he says, well, when I go out, she's complaining. He says, listen, it's not that there's no merit to it. Yes, I've been a bandit here and there. She has cause to complain, but now she's not saying anything. And you know what it's like. And ladies, Miss Jude, AJ,
Yeah.
chip in for me. You know what it's like when you're with somebody and you have to keep telling them about the same thing. I don't like when you do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
Let me think. I used to date somebody. This one is, and I used to pray, listen, God, I used to say, I need to find somebody, a God-fearing guy, because this guy is God that fears him. Honestly. honestly. Very, very dangerous guy. I would complain about the same things over and over and over again, especially things like, okay, we're at a party, and there are girls that are there that I know that you used to deal with. I think there should be some decorum. By all means, speak to them. We're friends. But you are whispering in one of them's ears in one corner. I can't have that. And there was always that kind of behavior. I had a lot of female friends, and I didn't like that. And I would complain incessantly, and it just kind of went in one ear, out the other. When I was completely done, when I knew that and to be honest, once you've made up that decision to move on, you kind of relax because it doesn't really matter what happens. You're just planning your exit strategy.
Exactly.
Maybe you've left some cornflakes there at the house. You want to finish it. Some one or two things. Maybe he's promised to take you somewhere. So you do your for the last, handing over notes. Then you pack your bags and then you go. When a woman stops nagging, stops asking you questions, honestly, she's done with you.
gone.
She's done with you. It's either she's moved on, and like Nanya is saying, maybe at that point, she's even got somebody else she's focusing on. Not just the nagging on, but she's focusing her love and attention and all of that on, and she's left you to it. When a woman stops complaining, she is done. AJ, true or false?
Very, very true. As soon as I stop caring, you would know by how little attention I start to pay you. So if I'm constantly reaching out, constantly checking in, all that good stuff, then you know that I'm still on the beat. But once you start to show me small shaggy and I realize that, son out here, and I completely withdraw, it means I'm done.
It means you're no longer invested.
I am 5 seconds away from moving on completely. I'm just with you because I feel
Like I said,
either
the
some sense of
conflicts is not
loyalty
finished.
or
There's an
or
event
something,
coming up. You need your car tires changed.
or I haven't found someone.
Handing over. It's like
Yeah.
handing over notes.
Hold on a second.
Yes, Nanya, go on.
Why? First of all,
Yes.
you've used a lot of words here.
For example.
One of them is complaining.
Thank you.
Nagging,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
How many of you actually explain to your partners that you're with? Because for me, I wouldn't be with someone that nags, that chooses the option of nagging or complaining.
So
Because
break it down for us. Now,
okay,
you always
so
say nagging. What does that connote?
Okay, so nagging, right? It's, to be fair, it's a subjective opinion. So if based on, you know how the person you are is with.
Yeah.
If they're saying you saying it in a particular way is nagging, that is how the man has computed that way of you explaining it.
Right.
So instead of you to change and look an alternative way to explain it in a way that makes sense within the context of the man you're with, you decide to repeat the same thing he's complaining about. And you wonder why things don't get fixed.
But the thing is that she is bringing something up to you
Say
that
in another
you don't
way.
want to accept.
No, it's not that you don't want to accept it. It's just that sometimes the way in which you approach the like I said, if you understand the person you're with, you can approach it in a way which it doesn't seem like nagging if you're taking the feedback of what he believes nagging is, and vice versa.
So is it
right?
the case that if it comes in the form of nagging, then it makes the message difficult to swallow? You don't even want to get close
And when
to
you were a
it.
kid and your parents said something in a certain way, you wanted to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Not always.
this-
No,
a
you
matured
did. And the
person
thing
who
is now, you,
understands.
that little kid, you've grown up with that habit. It hasn't gone away.
Ladies, back me up here. This is what men do when Are we entering the territory of gaslighting? Is that what is going on there?
Gaslighting.
Men know
Hold on.
exactly. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. And I'm
Yes.
glad you backed me up there. You smelt it, isn't it? It was thinking. Let me remove my glasses. It was thinking
wrong.
of pure gaslighting.
So Nanya,
Am I speaking to someone else here?
you are not.
We'll let the gentleman weigh in on that, so we'll know if Danya has backup before we go on to our next story.
You
But
have backup.
How did it get to gaslighting?
Listen, a woman is nagging or complaining,
Yeah.
and you think that it is how she's going.
I'm not saying it's invalid. I'm not saying what
Fine,
she's
but
saying is
why
invalid.
don't you make changes to what she's saying? But you feel like she's
I
nagging,
understand.
so you want to take it in another way.
No, I get you. No, don't get me wrong. I didn't for any reason say that what she was saying was not valid.
Okay.
I'm just saying that it's human nature to respond a certain way. Yeah.
But he also said that most of the things that she says is actually
I know, and so he's just agreed with me that it's not what she's saying, right? It's just that knowing how I am, I have decided to, I've even been open and decided to explain to her, listen, when you do it this way, it feels a bit nagging to me. For example, you can say the same sentence
over and over.
and you can appear one night and I come into my room and you're there in lingerie and you can say the same thing. I might hear more. No, I'm just saying, I would hear more.
oh my goodness.
I would hear what you're saying more if you did it in a way. I'm just saying.
But do you also know that when someone keeps telling you what you're doing, which like you're basically lying to the person, and the person has caught you, it's difficult for you to really hear the person. It's like you're trying to cover up everything.
No,
that
but
you're
okay,
doing.
I hear that, but that's just one example of the things you are quote unquote complaining about. I mean, that one is an extreme case, but there are certain things where women have been complaining quote unquote about, honestly, nothing.
But most of the time, before we complain, we've done our investigations.
Again,
know
your
exactly what we are
investigation is
saying.
always one-sided. Look, at the end of the day, most of you try to prove a hypothesis that is not true to be as true as possible. And then when you get to that certain threshold, then you're like, okay, you know what? I'm ready to now go and take this thing to market, right? And then you wonder why it doesn't work out.
Hey, AJ, jump in for me. What would get you to the point where you say, you know what? I asked for this thing, min kebium. I'm leaving it here. How many times do you have to talk about a particular topic until you say, I'm not going there again, I'm done with you, I'm not going to bring it up, I'm giving you some one or two opportunities to rectify, and I'm out of here?
I think it's just how triggered you are by the occurrence. So say in this situation, as he said, he's been cheating a bit, and then what she was saying or nagging about is actually true. So she's been suspecting for a bit, and she finally now starts to see that it's really happening. But it's the kind of disrespect that you disrespect her that will make her check out completely. Maybe she said it, maybe she's nagged, maybe one day you decide that you're shouting at her, making her look like she's a crazy one. It's just then you just, so it's just how much you gaslight the person into feeling that, you know what, you honestly really don't care about what I say and my feelings, so I'm not even going to speak about it again. So when they stop speaking on it, it means you've pushed them to the extreme brink, and there's no coming back from that. You would hope that the people you love will be a bit more understanding about your feelings enough not to take it to the extreme end. But this is a situation where this man clearly knew exactly what he was doing, kept on pushing, and then calling her. People don't nag. People say what they're saying consistently, or people say what they care about consistently. Now, if it starts to become nagging to you when you know that sometimes it's an iota of truth, or maybe you're just sounding like a broken record. But there's a reason why they're consistently going on and on and on about the same thing, is because you're not listening to them. Perhaps if you had just stopped to actually want to listen to her and understand where she's coming from, she would have stopped nagging completely.
Well, this particular scenario aside, let's park this one also. As women, do we tend to nag? That's the narrative. Oh, anything and everything is a cause for complaint. Do you agree that sometimes we enter into that territory of just nagging?
I want to witness this maturity.
The men give us reason to nag.
So the question was, do you?
We don't nag.
Okay.
We just speak on something that bothers us consistently.
Okay.
It bothers us. It's like you, and men nag a lot.
They nag more than
men
women.
nag a whole lot.
You say men nag more than women nag.
little
more
things
than
are all
women.
over.
Oh my goodness.
And then men nag a lot. And then exactly the same thing, because the men don't listen to the women. That's when the women just have to keep repeating the same thing. Because what is nagging if I'm telling you to take out the trash and you're choosing not to
Nage,
take out
are
the
you
trash?
known to nag? Are you a nagger?
He's
I'm
a
not
nagger.
I'm really not. And,
What do
and
you do
Nagger.
if you address something 1, 2, 3 times and it's not listened to?
like I said, it's a challenge, right? But the point is that if you make
Conscious effort.
so if you make a conscious effort to address how you're communicating with the other person, you receive a lot more differences than deciding to just lock off and say, hey, I'm not going to. In fact, this is the question. Do you think that our threshold to actually handle each other's different personalities has actually dropped? Because honestly, like a lot of these things.
Yes, I think our tolerance level is getting lower.
Well,
because we're dealing with a lot more in life. So by the time I'm done with the office and I come home, my tolerance level is in the dumps. Like if you, I will give it to you to.
Anyway, listen, all three of you came today with some adulting energy. But
I'm just saying. I'm just saying that if we
Yes.
worked on communicating better, a lot of things that you call nagging would not be
Who
nagging.
is who's supposed to communicate better? The man or the woman?
Do you know what? Both. So
I agree.
if for example, a man is telling you nag too much, that is a sign. It's a signal. The person is telling you, you know what? I've assessed how you're talking to me, and I see it as nagging. Try and work on it. Now, if your response is,
are you doing the same thing over and over and over and over again? Is what I'm nagging?
I agree.
Is it not legitimate?
fine, but you can express it in different ways based on what might work.
I'm gonna
with
keep
the guy
talking
you're
about
talking
it.
to.
DJ Phil,
The thing is,
intervene for
when
us.
Someone complains about something repeatedly, whether the person says nicely or not.
It will
and
get to.
affects
It will
the
How
get
do
to
you
a
know?
point.
It's nagging.
How do you know she's not trying?
But that, no,
31
no,
minutes to the
Nadia.
top of the hour, 8 p.m. This is still keeping it real on 3FM 92.7. Quick breather. When we come back, let's open up the phone lines and let's see if the men have some back in here as concerns nagging. Then we'll go quickly to our second dilemma. I don't think we're going to end this age-old debate anytime soon.
Keeping it real
Nags more than who? The women say the men like to nag here and there. And
Absolute
the
blasphemy.
men say when it comes to nagging, women do all. AJ, do we have some comments on
Yes,
Facebook?
we do.
Let's
Let's get into it. Simon says the most dangerous level you pushed her to. So if you know what's good for you, call her and sort out your differences, or you will run for your life.
Oh, boy.
Albie says, I bet you people don't like people like us, but we are actually the best. Marianne says you're done. She's done because you men feel without you can't do anything. She's telling you to carry the cross alone. Charles says, don't worry, let her be. She can't endure it for long. She'll resume soon, and it was going to be more severe.
As she'll resume the nagging soon.
Shaibu Umar says, she's done, my brother. Sewa Mula says, men will always be men. Ishmaela says, she's planning to pour hot oil on you.
Honestly, when women go silent, be so careful. Hide all before you go to bed. Make sure everything tally.
all the breakables are moved.
I'm telling you.
Pete says her love for you is left with 1 kilobyte. You thought you were doing it. Samira says some men don't like good women. Opokwa says you men don't know what you want. When we nag, wahala. When we go silent and not mind wahala. In Toy Soulman says, brother, it's bad. What's coming for you is bad. I advise you to take her position. Start nagging her.
Reverse psychology. I'm with it.
Hetty Ablavi says, when Jesus said it is finished, this is yours.
Exactly.
Prosper says, run, oh, run. Getting into other messages also on on our TV3 handle as well. Ikea Boss says, when a woman is silent, 90% of the time, she's long gone. Honorable Patricia says, there may be many reasons. One, she may have realized her nagging wasn't effective in changing your behavior and has decided to try a different approach too. She may be feeling
Maybe
overwhelmed.
beatings. I don't know. I don't endorse that. But what other
Where
approach
the
has she
beatings come
tried?
from?
She may be also feeling overwhelmed or stressed in other issues. 3, she may be experiencing a change of heart, possibly due to personal growth or self-reflection. Or 4, it's possible she's feeling disconnected or unheard, leading her to withdraw from engaging with you on issues that matter to her. It's important to remember that everyone goes through phases and it's possible her behavior will change again in the future. If you're concerned about the change in her behavior, consider having an open and honest conversation with her to understand what's going on from her perspective. Davida says she's departed or she's departing from you totally. Hurry and patch up before she's totally gone. If not, you'll be living with an emotionless being. Kekeli says you've lost her. Congratulations on your peace of mind and freedom. Getting back into more after our conversation.
All right, so the general consensus is that when a woman goes silent, you should beware. I think we can open up the phone lines right about now and get some of your views really quickly before we jump into our second dilemma. 0559 242 717 or 0559 10154. Your calls are coming through thick and fast. Hello, good evening. Who's speaking?
Hello, good evening.
Yes, hi. Who's speaking?
Margarine.
Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Legon.
You're calling from Legon. Let's hear you a bit clearly. Please speak up for me. What are your thoughts on this evening's topic?
This man should run for his life.
Hey. Okay. All right, I'll get on to AJ. What do you say is going on?
No, maybe this one is personal. It actually personally affects her, so maybe she's a bit more emotional about it. Just saying.
All right, let me jump on to my next caller. Hello, good evening. Who's calling?
Evening. Nana, in the credit of an credit.
Oh, creditors. Oh, me. Yes, so sorry.
Lady in the credit of
Oh, the creditors. Because I know creditors. Let's hear you. What are your thoughts?
Me and I may
Why? What are your thoughts?
Okay, real quick. If
Sure.
your partner or even someone closer to you stop complaining about something that you do that affects them, you are losing them gradually. Because they get to the point where they just leave you be to do what you want and just focus on themselves. It's what do what you want. Then they begin to focus on themselves and their happiness. You see, the tolerance level is not coming down. People are now prioritizing their happiness and peace of mind over anything. So the moment you want to stress them, they are cutting you off. Stop. And I like that one. Then you'll be there and do you die. And the person will jump onto the next person. You understand?
I get you.
And my bro in the studio, I beg you, define the word nagging and tell me who doesn't practice it.
So you say everybody nags. Men nag, women nag. Okay.
Don't mind him. He's just following the tradition of women nag. What are you talking about? The only difference between men and women is that the women are bold enough to say it in their men's face. The men will jump and go and sit with their boys' words and say, my wife this, and my husband that, and then.
Hey, so wait. Even at the sittings, the men can bring up those topics.
Yes, of course. Tell my woman they stress me, and my woman today this, and my woman today that. In the brother circle, what do you think that is? That is proper
Nakwesi, you are
nagging.
releasing
That
keys.
is proper
You are
nagging.
revealing
That
keys.
is proper nagging, bro. The only difference is that you are not telling it to the woman's face. You are telling it to your boy's voice. And when you finish doing that, you go home and you say that she's nagging. Now, what did you want to do with your boy's voice? Is it not the same nagging? My brother.
Okay.
You see, the things that makes us human, we shouldn't make it gender specific. That is the reason why when you are doing something to a woman, that's all catch in your head, all you hear is she's nagging. Meanwhile, you know deep down in your heart that she's saying something that is true. She wants you to do something about something. She wants you to change about something. And you're not doing it. Naso Gusuka, you say she's nagging. Change. Then maybe she'll stop talking. Change. Do something about the issue. Then maybe she'll stop talking.
Have you had a personal experience, Nakwesi, with somebody trying to tell you about certain behaviors that you had and you maybe ignored them and it came to maybe bite you in the behind? Has that happened to you
For
before?
me, it's even the other way around. It's me saying that.
So you are a professional nagger.
You can say that because I'm human. If you are doing something and I don't like me, I won't be surrounded too. I won't sit there and do no. That thing is very toxic for me. You know why?
Why?
Because when I bustle in up, the day that I'll let it out, I'll end up saying something that I shouldn't say.
Okay, that's a fair point. I understand
when
you.
You're thinking me right there and there. I'm telling you, you need to stop. I'll say it to maybe you do something. If I realize you're not doing something, then I'll return to. I'll just fold. And I'll okay, continue doing what you want. Then I'll just leave you be. And that's focusing on myself. So, Charlie, everybody now go.
We all nag. Professional naggers in the house.
Women do it. It's just that we black people, especially Africans, we've made it a woman's thing. But the boys, when they go and meet the boys, the way my woman...
Boys too, they nag.
Master,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right.
Charlie, if your partner is saying about something, Charlie, just see into it and do it for them. Why? And stop saying that they are nagging and they are nagging and they are nagging.
Sure. Anchor on nagging. And we're grateful for your call. We're allowed to nag with you. Hello. Let me get on to my next caller. Hello, good evening.
Nana face me credit and sound.
Oh, credit is credit and sound. Okay. Warrior Plenisha, let's hear you. What are your thoughts on this issue, this nagging issue? Talk to us.
See, the thing I don't talk because I'm a victim. Only yesterday. Because I don't want to talk about it because I'm really going through a lot.
Oh, what are you going through? What's up?
Okay, so there is this, we had an issue with our daughter. Actually, our daughter is not staying. Okay, she's with her grandmom. And then, for me, I'm not working again. I'm home. And he too, he has some problem at the office and all that.
Okay.
So I just got a number from Kakra. So a couple of days ago, the grandmom called us that, your child is not feeling well. All right. So I spoke to the dad and the dad was like, hey, listen, I'm here. So I made up my mind. I said, look, you call bank. Now they are sending my money now they are sharp color. So as I was going to my phone, there was this old friend. So I called him and we said, I don't catch you. And I was like, me mommy and all that. And your mom said, you had then if you are calling thing, and I'm so no here. Or nana ho na yes no kra no ho fa no my kakra. So now we do like there was light out before we do. So the guy was like, you can tell me pushing from 600 cities be one of my electric girl and mommy. And I'm you me credit me send the room take this number. Hey, the other friend me name Babio. Actually send my guy's number to my friend, because I know I didn't
okay, there was no bad mind behind it.
So the guy called and then when I and on the channel of you, I've actually heard about you and no I don't know. This boy came home, was like, who is this guy? He called me, he said you know about me, what did you tell him? And he wasn't even one coming down to ask me what is going on. was just talking. Like, as an amazing, no,
Oh, so this is the dilemma that you two have going on in the background, eh? Okay. Thank you for cloaking us with this information. We'll park it, but towards the end of the show, we'll revisit and dissect it. So there was some nagging going on. They didn't nag you about it. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Is that what happened?
Just the Obi Seno. He's actually using my thing. So if someone calls, and then instead of a bit commit down, no, one Obi Seno, every day, and someone calls,
Hey, Naggers Association. All right, darling. Thank you for this. This is your dilemma, dear. I hope that... Oh, the line has gone off again. Were you able to make heads or tail of what our lady was talking about?
Yeah, so she gave... her daughter is not feeling well. She's at home currently. And then her guy... So a friend of hers from back in the day reached out to her. I think they were just saying the lights went off. And the guy said that, she explained that, I think she just in passing said that she's hot because her daughter is not feeling well. And the guy's like, then let me send some small 600 to you. But her battery's about to die. So she said, okay, then send it to my guy because trust.
Of course.
I mean, she trusts him. He trusts. She assumed he trusts her, and then says, "Oh, you can reach out to my guy and send him the after all, it's our daughter anyway,
right?
And I'll get it from him whenever he comes. Also, I'm assuming I'm embellishing it,
right?
But basically, this was sent to him. Then the guy follows up with a call. Reza is a guy that he's speaking to. And says, "Oh, I've heard about you." Then the guy now
is unhappy about
very
that.
Unhappy.
Who is this guy that I sent money that is also calling?
And gets very upset with her.
Oh boy.
For, I'm guessing, speaking to other people that he doesn't really know much of.
I see. And the person having the audacity
person
to ask or mention, I've heard about you.
Yeah. And then this is someone that she clearly speaks so much about that other people who speak to her now know about him. So she didn't feel like he had any reason to be upset, but he clearly feels differently about it. So that's her dilemma in terms of nagging.
Well, if we have,
I hope I got that right.
If we have some time towards the end of the show, we can sink our teeth into that. But I think as far as this dilemma is concerned, the consensus is clear. Male or female, once your significant other really starts or stops getting on to you about certain things, maybe you should reconsider those actions and also maybe get ahead of the breakup, because it appears that is where you are headed to breakupville. So it's something to think about. Am I right that that's the general consensus? That's what the comments, the calls, and you guys have said.
Akosi asked me a few questions.
He did indeed.
So I love the fact that you called in. So I love that. He asked me, how do I define nagging?
Yes.
Right. So let me give the context in which I was speaking.
Sure.
Nagging for me, like I said, it was subjective. I didn't make it a female or male thing. As long as the other party sees what you're saying, whether it's valid or not, in a negative way, they may deem it nagging. But only you know how the other person sees it. Now, I'm not justifying the reasons as to why the person is nagging. Like I said, if someone is seeing someone else and someone, there's always going to be that thing. I'm not saying it's justified.
Right.
But all I'm saying is there is a certain maturity that allows you to communicate it better. That's it. Now, the example he gave around when a boy's going to tell their friends, that's gossiping. That's just...
Okay.
That's different. Nagging is between you and the person.
Got it.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's basically what I was saying to clear it up.
Okay, that's fair. I think the general consensus still remains, but thanks for that clarification. And I do think in some instances, nagging really is nagging on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there are instances where, yes, there's complaining, there's reiterating, and there's times where you're just being nagged. Another example, but I'll save that one for another day. AJ, please, our next dilemma, let's dive into it really, really swiftly.
Oh, do we have time for it?
I think maybe we can do a part 1 or a part 2. What say you? We have another hot dilemma. This one is very hot indeed, but we do have some time. Let's get into it.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do it quickly. My husband was taken to the U.S. for cancer treatment about 2 years ago. He wouldn't allow me to go with him. His sister went with him instead. About 6 months later, I was told he had passed away and was buried in America. I just found out a few weeks ago that he's alive. No, he was alive all this while and married to another woman. He sold a lot of his belongings to relocate along with his sister. His sister and, in fact, his family knew and helped him do this behind my back. Unfortunately, he fell on the wrong side of the law because he beat his American wife before she could finish filing for his papers, and he and his sister have both been deported since they didn't have the correct papers for immigration. Over the last 2 years, this has happened. I have gotten a huge promotion for a multinational I work with, gotten a company house and car, and earning huge, but now his family is begging me to take him back for the sake of the child we share together. Honestly, I miss him as we were in a good marriage until he betrayed me. Everyone is begging on his behalf, from family to church, etc. What should I do?
How can she be missing him?
Miss Judy, your reaction was instant.
No, but why are you missing him? Someone who treated you like that.
Mm.
Like your heart.
Again, she
really
said they were in a good marriage until he betrayed her. So if you take
Someone
the
who
betrayal
planned
out,
with the family.
if you take the betrayal out,
So you're saying that somebody who fakes their death is not a deal breaker for you, AJ?
no,
You know what?
Hey, is the dating pool so bad that one can even fly?
No. As in, at this point, I mean,
If you fake your own death, be prepared for your real one.
It's the shamelessness of the family for me. The family is a shamelessness of the family for me, because it's one thing for the man to have done this, betrayed his wife, faked his death, made her mourn him for 2 years, go about thinking she's a widow for 2 years, only to find out that this man
That is
proper
insane.
living his best
But
life.
she
in
still misses
America.
him. That's
I
insane.
don't even understand.
I mean, but
Like,
to be fair, there are somebody can do some of the most atrocious things you've ever experienced
And
to
then you
you,
still think-
and you still have feelings.
So would you say
for them?
she deserves what comes to her if she decides to pursue that?
Exactly.
I mean, as for that one, dear, she'd have to. I mean, somebody that can fake their own death and allow
that's
you
the
to
height of it,
grieve.
though. That's the
I mean,
height.
and you know what grief can do to somebody? Grief
Yeah.
can run you mad.
Mad.
Grief can make you can even kill you.
I'm curious though, what made the guy do that?
Because he wanted to run. He wanted
Why?
to-
What was he afraid of?
Maybe he wanted to jump.
What did he see? What did he see at night
Maybe
when
he
he
wanted-
woke up next day? I'm just wondering. The first
Why
thing I
are
did.
you blaming the woman?
No. See, I knew this
Okay.
was
Why
gonna
are
come.
you-
The
Is this
first
not
thing
in the
I did.
territory of victim blaming?
No. The first thing I spoke about was, wow, how could he do that?
Swiftly followed by
Well,
what
because-
made him
What
do
did
that.
what
When we
made
got
him
out of
do
the
that?
way, I was curious to know why he did that. That's insane.
Okay, what sort of reason?
That's why I'm
if
asking.
you put yourself in his shoes, what would make you fake your own death?
Do you know what? I'm not gonna fall for that trap. Because I saw what you guys just tried to do a second
that
ago.
you want to fake your own death.
I mean, what would make AJ? Under what circumstances would you
There's
fake your own
no
death?
circumstance.
Bad smell? I don't know.
Like, what kind of deaths are you in? What kind of someone's gonna kill me at night?
Because some people
Like,
do fake their own death.
What in a crazy would you want to fake your own death for? Only to get there and realize that
That's crazy.
the Lord will karma will serve you so quickly.
Unless he did something so wrong that he was running away from.
No, but no,
Maybe
from
some-
her.
He can't be running away from her.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it was
what
that-
possibly could it be?
But that's why I want to ask. Let me start with AJ. What scenario in life, this is aside this particular dilemma, would
No
make you fake
scenario.
your own death?
No scenario.
If you were in serious,
Unless someone was out to kill me and I had to run away. From
That's a
to
legitimate
protect
reason.
Do you know what? Actually, I could think of a reason.
what reason?
What reason?
If I was thinking with a criminal mind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kill someone.
Proceed.
No. It will be a life insurance move.
Yes, that happens
yes,
quite
yes,
often.
yes,
I think
yes,
in the
yes,
States,
yes.
those scams abound,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Could be a
you
life
fake your
insurance
own
move.
death, your spouse collects on the life insurance,
Yeah.
and, they meet you in
And your
Mexico.
spouse would have to have denial clause. What's it called?
Plausible denial.
Plausible denial.
But that one you do it together with them, so that they no the one where you fake your death, so they claim on the life insurance and you tell them
but
meet me in Mexico,
So then who?
and you run off together.
that
Yeah, but
means-
how is his wife going to get visa to go to Mexico?
No. So you have faked
Maybe he
your
didn't feel
own-
like his wife was up to be able to be in part of the plan.
So that
Maybe
means
she was.
probably his sister was his.
Yeah.
If we're thinking, because the way the sister is the one who went with him, probably if it was a life insurance scheme, then the sister is the one that was the.
Did they have
beneficiary.
kids?
They had a child together.
Yeah,
One
so he didn't
child.
want to get them involved.
So you're not giving me grief.
I said thinking as a criminal. I beg you.
Admittedly,
we
what
are
would
assuming
make you
he-
fake
But
your
you
own
could have
death?
told me if that's the situation. You could have told me. So
Yeah.
that
No.
It depends.
I don't
If-
think
if
so.
he felt the
Because
person
he
was
left-
capable, then I don't think so.
He left her
It
to go and
depends.
marry someone in America.
That's
So
true. That's
clearly,
true. That's true.
He didn't care
That's
enough
true.
for her. and
Miss
then
Julie,
she
what
was-
would make you
That's
fake
true,
your own
actually.
death? What circumstances would be so dire that you fake your own death?
I mistakenly killed someone and I'm running away.
You're running away.
that makes
Okay, so then you
sense.
make it look like you yourself. You're also.
So you wouldn't tell your husband.
Wow. Ghana Police, good
Really, I would
evening.
have
If
told
you are
her.
listening, we have
We
some
can put this
prospective
together.
criminals
The
in the
killing
house.
of the person, or
No, that faking my death and me running away.
Oh, so you would have done- okay.
Join me later.
But what scenario would you have not told your partner?
Unless, Charlie, I want to walk out and because of a connection I don't seem to know.
So middle age crisis.
But what about the point where she's saying it was a
Out of
good
love.
marriage? She
Out
said
of
it was
love.
a good marriage before
The
things
whole
went
thing doesn't
upside
make
down.
sense. Obviously, she was living in her own world that she was in a good marriage. The man obviously was not in the same good marriage. He wouldn't have left.
Helen, I think it was boredom.
So
Does
he
that
wanted to
happen?
explore.
Boredom.
I don't know. I just feel
Is
like
that possible?
that might have been. It might have been the way in which he was going away from. He was so desperate to leave here, and wanted to go to America that he had to find a way. Even that, it doesn't really justify the reason, to be honest. But
All right. Do
He
we open
must-
up the phone lines? Is this above our pay grade? I think
I
this
think
one might
so.
be above our pay grade. What do you think? We've discussed two different dilemmas: the issue of nagging and what happens when your partner goes silent, and also this very bizarre telenovela with somebody faking their own death. 0559-242-717. That's 0559-242-717 or 0556-910-154. Hello. Good evening.
Hi,
Who's speaking? Where are you calling us from?
Nana.
Hi, Nana. Where are you calling us from?
After you.
Oh, you're in Hacho.
Yes,
Are you waiting for me?
if only you will come.
Nana,
I'm
over
a
to
teaser man
you.
right now.
Surely. Let's hear from you.
So, what does the woman want? Is she not scared?
Should she be scared?
Hey, you are with someone. The guy faked his death or what, and
Yes.
vanished.
Vanishes for 2
And
years.
you say you miss him. Went to marry again, and you are not scared. People want trouble. So what does the family want? What does see? Sometimes I keep saying this love thing. Sometimes it's overrated though.
It's overrated. Why did you say
yes.
that?
Oh yes, because love is supposed to open your eyes, not blind you. So when the signs are there for you to see, you keep ignoring them, and you say, "Oh, best, and then when it bites you hard, you say it was love." What are you talking about? You are with someone, the person just bailed on you, and now so what is happening with the guy now? Is he sick or something that they are saying she should accept him back? What is happening with the guy?
Well, I think they think that a lot of time has passed and he wants to come back home.
He's just right. So the 2 years, the lady who has not met any guy who is doing hairline or anything. She's sitting down waiting for this guy.
It's like you said, love. When you're in love, you're not using your rational brain. We've all been there.
Shouldn't be like that. Oh, my sister, see, this love, some of us has experienced, we are experiencing it all. But
Hey.
we didn't lose our mind experiencing love. No. See, when you love someone, you see, you become vulnerable in the midst of the person. All your flaws come to play. That is not the time the person should be doing as if the person cannot see what is happening. No, when you pray to God, that God should let you know whether this person is for you. Will God descend from heaven to come and show you something? No. The signs, the true characters of the person will come to bear for you to see. That is what you should be paying attention to. Then you decide for yourself, can I handle this or not? That is God speaking to you. But we ignore that. And we say that love has blind us. Love has blind who? When the person was speaking you, didn't you feel it? You felt it. But instead of you making a decision about it, you ignore it, thinking it will stop because of love. Oh, my sister, move on with your life. Why? Now this gentleman, 2 years, and you are sitting there saying, "Why?" So wait, would the lady be another into sore wife or what? I don't understand.
I mean, she's the original, so it will go back to factory settings.
Wow. So what happens to the other women? You see, right now it's not just about her.
That's true. You're right.
What
You have
about
a
the other
point.
women? And if there are children involved, what about them? Tell him, move on with your life. Leave this guy be and move on with your life. Why? Now he's not the only man on this planet. Start
Wise
going
words,
through the
Nana.
healing process and move on with your life. It will help you.
Surely.
Hey, Charlie, we shouldn't play with our life like that. Too. Life is too short. to be entertaining some of these things.
Absolutely. Nana, thank you so much for your call and for sharing your thoughts with us. We'll park it here for the calls on Keeping It Real.
Love no got you before. Love no got you before.
It all for us very, very beautifully. That sometimes when people think they're in love, they are certainly not thinking straight. And I mean, Miss Judy, you were in shock when she was contemplating getting back with him. There are people who get married to convicts who have been imprisoned, who are there for life, convicted of mass murder. That's the one that her heart desires. It happens. So I think when it comes to this emotion called love, people will overlook so many things and still go headfirst into it.
The guy said she's supposed to be scared. I'll get you arrested and went.
He made sure that she doesn't waste time more. Usually will lure you back and have you arrested there and then.
To be fair, someone messaged me, me and said that she's been grieving for 2 years. That will make her remember the good times of the marriage more, especially if she thought for a long time that the man had died.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You tend to now start to rethink about how you could have done things. You know, if he was alive, I would have done this. And now all of a sudden he's alive.
Yeah. It's true. There's something that they call, is it fated?
Married another person.
I know, but you didn't know that. For 2 years, you didn't know he faked his death.
I moved on long ago.
Yeah. I mean, it's something called, like what you said, fading affect bias, which after a lot of time has passed, some of the pain that you, or the level of pain that you felt about a situation, when you think back at it, it's not that painful. It doesn't seem like a big deal. I mean, we've all been there where time passes and it makes some of the good times even stand out because, like Nanya's friend was saying,
Helen,
yes.
Wait, this is like childbirth.
You never forget.
The moment the baby comes out, you forget all the
You forget all the
But
pain.
the moment you get pregnant again,
you remember.
start remembering, Jesus, what did I just do? And this is it. You forgot everything. You've like lived. This is, he's coming back. I am going to remember all the grieving I did during those 2 years we were away. I am getting you arrested. It's that simple.
Wow.
Like
I think some women will convince themselves with that word closure. They'll use that word of closure to try and go closer.
Nanya, I like that word you brought up, closure. That's something that we can certainly put on the lineup for one of these weeks because closures are causing more openings. You go there for closure, and yes, things are opening. My goodness. Well, it's time for us to say adios, au revoir, and goodbye to you all. It is exactly 8 p.m. This has been Keeping It Real. As always, an entire hour dedicated to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Next week, we get into some more juicy dilemmas, and hopefully you and I and the rest of the panelists can get to the bottom of these dilemmas. Well, until next week, stay safe. This has been Keeping It Real. God might not be done with you, but we are. We'll see you again next week.
Love no got you before. Love no got you before.